So, I'm going to admit it has been a while since I've ever had to do like a voiceover. So I'm going to sound incredibly awkward, but I'm going to try and break down my thought process for this sketch. Very hard sketch for me to try and attempt. I really wanted the camera to look down on her, and I initially wanted a pose where she was like praying up to the sky. But I found this angle and this pose to be very uncomfortable to draw. More so, I wasn't confident in my ability to get this to look good and to look right. And as you can see, I do reference a different image to try and salvage the expression that I drew because I really liked it, but it just doesn't work with the referenced like pose. It looks very janky and awkward and a little creepy. So I futz with it a lot before I get it to something that's more comfortable and just makes more sense with the angle of the head. So this character's named Nicole. She belongs to a series of mine called Leaside, and Leaside is a made-up city in Southern California, just comprised of a bunch of kind of societal outcasts, including robots and magic users, general weirdo human people. And her whole deal is that she had a relationship with a college professor who she didn't know was already married, and she gets humiliated in this scene. I'm not sure by who yet. It's definitely not going to be the professor's wife. Maybe another student or someone related to the wife or the professor. She ends up killing the professor. I kind of jump between wanting her to kill him and wanting her to brutally attack him, but he lives. I think I'm gonna lean towards just killing him, just so her sort of personality in the series makes a lot more sense, at least to me. Also, I think if you're a professor and, you know, trying to mess around with your young students, you deserve something to happen to you. Hot take. This part of lining and sketching, I'm really not happy with this cleanup sketch because she looks very like Hammerhead Shark-esque. Her eyes were like super far apart. So here's me trying to fix it. It doesn't really work, so I just go back to the initial like messier sketch, and even then I'm like still struggling with how to make it look good. I figure it out. Ultimately, I ended up really liking how this piece came out, which was a surprise to me because just the sketching and the thumbnailing took me so long, and the piece itself took me like damn near a week to finish. Had to scrub through like 8 hours of just recording to get it down to a reasonable length. But yeah, basically it. Futzing with her eyes here because I wanted it to look a certain way. Did not come out that way. And then I realized after the fact that I had forgotten her antenna. She normally has antenna in her character design, like a little moth, but I had forgotten to draw that, and I just came up with the excuse that if she's on a date, she probably would hide them in her hair. Me struggling with hands again. me struggling with hands again. As per usual, the artist's struggle of drawing hands. And then I kind of wish I had followed some sort of reference for the dress. I really need to practice on drawing folds and stuff like that and how they interact with the body, but alas, I really did just want to get this piece done. Even in a pose like this where I'm more comfortable drawing it, I still struggle with wanting to make it look more dynamic and then failing. Definitely a practice thing. Definitely want to keep trying to improve, especially because I spent a couple years in an art drought almost. I haven't been drawing as much as I used to, much to my chagrin, because I look back at my old art and I'm like, damn, I kind of miss drawing like that, and I wonder where I would have been if I'd continued. But I was also really burning myself out on content that I wasn't really interested anymore. So yeah, I'm hoping eventually, because I had a small series on my Instagram of me drawing humanized versions of sea creatures. I'm hoping to make another series like that with bugs, because that was a really good idea, and I think that'll help me. That'll give me an excuse to push for more dynamic poses and clothing, and I can record more videos like this. There really isn't much to say in regards to the coloring and rendering of this piece. It really came out how I wanted it to. I did struggle a little bit with one of her sleeves because I didn't properly think of a light source when I was painting it, so you'll see that. But otherwise, that's basically it. I'm pretty happy with it. I hope to expand more on this series, and I actually have an animation coming out eventually. I'm still working on the line art of it, but once that's done, everything else is basically smooth sailing. So that'll be very epic, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this speed